It's early evening in Hong Kong, ladies and gentlemen, as you join us at Kings Park Sports Ground for this game 1 of 6 at the Regal Hotel's Cup of Nations for 2017. It's Kenya versus Chile in the first of our matches this afternoon. The next one featuring home side Russia, Hong Kong versus Russia. Today's match is the opening, really, for a campaign towards the World Cup, and joining me in the commentary position is Daniel Musa, former Hong Kong Premiership player. Musa, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks very much, Jed. Great to be here, and it's an exciting night, isn't it? A lot of great rugby coming up, and the start of a World Cup campaign, as you said, for these teams. It's excitement all around.
It is excitement all around, and the Kings Park ground looking a picture as we get ready for the first of the two teams in this four-way tournament being played between Kenya, Chile, Russia, and of course Hong Kong. As it's beautiful conditions this evening, not too cool but not too warm, as the opening images of the Kenyan national side, who have arrived under a bit of a sad cloud with the passing of one of their players not long before they departed to Hong Kong. A very sad situation, but I'm sure those men on screen right now will be looking to play for the memory of their fallen comrade, as well as the national pride of the Kenyan rugby community, and it's wonderful to see them in Hong Kong for the first time. The officials, as always turning up.
Looking a bit lost, aren't they, Jed?
Checking the quality of the advertising boards. There'd be nothing wrong with that one. Referee Tim Baker taking a look over the side, but it's always good to see the officials here. We need them for a game of rugby.
Can't live with them, can't live without them, Jed. Can't wait. Just looking at the two teams line up here. It looks like both packs got some big men there. Could be a real battle up front.
So we have almost got two teams ready in the tunnel, and this game kicking off roughly 5 p.m. Hong Kong time. The next game will be kicking off at approximately 7 p.m. Hong Kong time. So this transmission will end, a new one will start, but don't go anywhere. And if you're joining us on Facebook Live, please send us some messages. It's wonderful to have you joining us. There they are, both sides. Kenya in the red strip, Chile in the gunmetal grey. It's a nice colour, to be fair. And it's good to see the South American teams here. Very robust, confrontational style from Chile. And we expect to see a lot out of them as they make their way onto the pitch. Musa, this could be a very interesting game. The flair and speed that we know that Kenya possess versus the up the front grunt of Chile.
Yeah, I think we've seen both these teams do great things in the Sevens circuits, haven't we, over the years? So it'll be great to see them now on the 15s format. I think, like you say, Chile will be possibly like their Argentinian neighbours, will be big up front, but I'm sure he'll possess a bit of flair outside too. No doubt we'll have some fast running backs and want to throw it around. So it could be a great contest, like you said. Kenyan, big, powerful men. I think it'll be if Chile can contain their might.
Well, it's a treat to have international rugby back in Hong Kong, and the Cup of Nations is a superb opportunity. As these match officials, Max Burley, the referee, Stephen Copeman and Patrick Kwok as the assistant referees, and the fourth official, Malcolm Pratt, as we get ready for the national anthems here at the Regal Hotel's Cup of Nations for 2017.
Please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Kenya. Please join together for a minute of silence and respect for the tragic loss of Kenya international
So now
the who passed away suddenly last week.
Fred will take a moment's silence here for the passing of Simbani Okombe earlier this week. Tragic loss for the Kenyan national side. And so faces of grief and mourning turn into the faces of warriors as the Kenyans now proceed out to halfway, and we prepare for the start of game one as we take a look at the Kenyan team for game one. Kapondo, the lock captain of this side. We expect some genuine flair and a team that looks in pretty good condition as they hit the pitch. Chile, as we've been told, and some of us have watched some footage of them, very powerful up front, especially through the tight five. Led at centre by Jose Inacio Larenas. The South Americans will bring a very upfront style. Daniel Musa getting ready to kick off. Thoughts and comments?
Yeah, here we go. A lot of height in the Kenyan pack there between Kapondo and Mageni. Gives them two big targets in the line out at least. So set piece could be a real battleground today. Like you say, it could be Kenyans on top in the line out and the Chileans potentially on the scrum. We'll see how one pans out. But I expect a lot of excitement from both sets of backs. It's a cracking night. There's not a drop of wind in the air, and it's just lovely up here at Kings Park. So looking forward to this. Should be an absolute belter.
Blue, red, black, ready?
Santiago Videla will
Red,
get things
ready?
underway. And game one, it's all on as Kenya meet Chile. Here in Hong Kong, the rugby world comes together. Number 27 and 28 respectively. And the initial exchange, Kenya quite happy to get a feel of the ball. In fact, they're keen to look at a bit of space and they find it and away they trot. Kenya out of the outside. Oh, that could have been very dangerous for Chile early on as Videla takes the ball, tries to load it off on the inside. And Kenya, well, that could be the gauntlet thrown down, Musa.
Yeah, frantic start. Obviously, Kenya looking to want to run the ball early. It's great to see, but Chile off the kick-off, getting in there with a big hit from the opening side, and clearly they're trying to establish themselves physically in the early stages of the game. But great to see the Kenyans slinging it wide from the off.
Well, an interesting phase of the match. First set piece of the game, and it'll be very intriguing to see where Kenya are at. It's been a fair reputation the Chileans hold up front. Kenya beat them on the drop, Musa.
Yeah.
You want to offer some observations?
Kenya a bit keener in the engagement. Obviously wanted to get the first scrum underway, but interesting here. We're right here in front of a scrum. This Chilean little loose head looks very compact, very solid. There's Claudio Zamorano, so it'll be great to see how his first scrum goes. The big battle between him and the big tight head Curtis Lilaco from Kenya.
It's fantastic to see such a large audience gathering online As fans from Kenya and Chile join us, thank you for taking the time to watch the game. I hope you enjoy it. Off the back, here's Chilean number 8, Benjamin Soto. Taken high.
Solid start there, Jed, from Chile. Looks like they're going to have a good platform, and obviously, like you said, the big number 8, Benjamin Soto, keen to get off the back there and make some real yards.
Well, Chilean platform looked pretty solid early on. They've earned themselves a first scoring opportunity. Close time. It's a little bit of a blood injury for the Kenyans. Maybe David Chengi taking a crack to the nose.
You wouldn't expect anything less, would you, Jed? It's a World Cup qualification. Blood within the first few minutes. Both teams really getting stuck in here. It's a lot to play for.
Well, there is a lot to play for. Absolutely there is. Fantastic opportunity to travel, experience international rugby, and then your way to the big stage in Japan. Inezweski strikes it well. Pulls it just inside the left-hand upright, so the opening attempt from Chile goes astray. We come back to a 22 restart for Kenya as Chile start to dominate the territory early on in the game. Restart deep. Into play, Videla. Captured and good straight front defence, good shape to the Chilean defence as they trap Kenya down. They've only gained 2 or 3 metres from that 22 restart, so Chile out there working very hard at the moment as Kenya try to organise an exit play. They look for space again. They look dangerous, ball in hand. They do have the size on them in the backs, there's no doubt about it.
Chilean defence holding strong at the minute, Jed. Looks like they're happy to nudge the corners and let the defence work away. They're not missing any tackles and they're matching these guys physically at the moment.
Kenya on Somos distributes. Quick hands, and they get on top of it. Chile flood through. Good smothering defence. It's good hard work by Chile. They're putting in an honest shift already.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. I think that's going to be what we'll see this half. They're going to be happy to nudge the corners. You saw the 10 there, deep ball, nudge it straight back in and let the defence do the work and look for turnovers or put pressure on the Kenyans to make the mistakes. But interesting to see, I wonder how Chile will adapt to their service here, Jed. I doubt either side have played in too much of the 4G stuff in Kenya or Chile. And it certainly looks like Kenya will be enjoying the hard ground they used to back home, and you saw that in the opening exchanges there. Fast across the hard ground. Chile may take some adapting to it.
Well, it's always a feature of playing rugby in Hong Kong. Visiting teams do take some time to come to grips with the artificial turf for Chile. Now they break. Come flooding the inside channel. Soto loses it forward. And maybe just a little bit disjointed. Perhaps still working off some of the travel. It's an interesting idea to take the line back inside to that scrambling Kenyan defence. There's some big men waiting for you.
Yeah, big Kenyan front 5 come on for a scrum. I wouldn't like to run straight back to him. I thought, the big 12 there for Chile, Francisco de la Fuente, he looks steppy, he looks quite powerful, and surprised he didn't just put the head down there and go for it himself, but he opted for Benjamin Soto, and an unfortunate knock on there.
It's the knock on the IM replay from Soto. He's been looking dangerous early on.
Yeah, he's hungry, isn't he, Jed? He wants to get involved, he wants the ball in his hands. And
Untied head, looks a little bit unstable. They wait, and it is, in fact, an early shove from Kenya. They're keen to get their forward pack credentials up loud and clear for everyone to see. Good struggling, bustling, but
10 meters, guys.
they had not
10 meters.
backed off the 10.
Yeah, I'm sure Kenya now will drill this down
Free kick, huh?
deep in the Chilean territory and give their tall men a chance to try and dominate the line out. Or are we wrong? Are we tapping? And they're tapping. They're playing, Jed. We're off.
They're tapping go. They've got no problem. They're going to run it out. That's the way to see running rugby. Oh, they're looking all the wide channel. Looked like it might have popped open for a second. I don't think it has to go for too long.
Kenya
Somos.
look desperate to get their wingers involved early, don't they?
Okay, there's a good effort. Keeping it close to the gain line. Good, strong effort from number 5, Oliver Mangini. Not releasing is the call.
Red support.
In fact, it was Nayambuya.
Great endeavour from the Kenyans taking that tap and go. You do not see that often at international rugby these days. You know, behind your own 10-metre line, going for it. It's fantastic. And also, look, they seem to really back their wingers. They've got Darwin Mukidza and Jacob Oji. Big men. They're not small wingers, are they? So obviously they're trying to get them out and let them go at it.
Well, they are definitely a threat, and that's exactly where I think
So we
they
give
probably
you the numbers,
identified
guys.
they can put some real
How many
pressure on
players?
this
Black.
Chilean outfit, move them across the park, and then try and beat them with the width. Their ball handling naturally is outstanding skills from Kenya, but if they can create the space, they've got the men to go through. But it's Chile with the territorial advantage, and they take it calmly at 2. Through number 7, Anton Petrovic,
Ball is straight and collapsing.
blonde-haired flanker.
Kenya pulling that one down there. So Chile, we're going to take the sticks. So it looks like they might bang it back in the corner and have a crack at it. We're going to back the forwards here, Jed.
So into the corner they go, and this is potentially some of the strategy that was worked out about Chile before they arrived. They do have a strong pack. They are organised. This is the sort of play that Hong Kong will be watching a video analysis. This is the sort of area you'd expect Chile to be very strong from.
Yeah, I think you see that across all the South American teams, don't you? It's not just Argentina. All the South American guys are big physical packs. But Thomas Duchelan, he's overthrown there, so Chile on the back foot.
Poor mistake by Chile, but they still have the ball. And they're still threatening the line. Big inside defence from Kenya. There's some bodies flying in there at the moment. Don't worry about that. Short side they play. Oh, just about spooned up. It's come to the hands of one of the Chilean players, but Kenya defence scrambled hard enough to earn the turnover.
Chile just looking a bit flat there and a bit tight. I think possibly there's a bit of over-eagerness, you know. They've got the ball, but they're almost too eager. They're over ball carriers, they were running their lines, putting pressure on the 10 there, and results in the forward pass and the knock-on. So they'll be looking to cool things down a bit and just try and find their structure and stick to it a bit.
So the bloodman change. 7 Chenga comes in back into the game. And the sustained period of attack by Chile. Still no points to show for it. 10.5 minutes into the game. Need to turn this pressure into points if they can. Kenya doing well. Keep Chile away. He's off the back they come. What a powerful looking unit. Joshua Chisanga. He's opened up a good angle. Exit play made out a little bit out of desperation, but it's gone down range, which is exactly what you want. Chile now. Good numbers by Kenya on the ball. They put pressure on. It's slow for Baskinan. Centerfield again, Baskinan. He gives it. Vidal breaks the line. He's looking for options. Good defence. It comes back though. Chile now. Right in the lineup. They all moving closer towards the sticks. Vidal, he looks to pop it up. There was an opportunity. It's gone forward. It's turned over by Kenia. Well, they live another day. Just a little bit of disorganisation from Kenya there at the back, and I think it's more out of good luck than good management. They've got away with that.
So what a great start to a test match. It's like watching the last 10 minutes when it's tied 15-all, both teams throwing everything in it. Great to see the Kenyan number 8 there. Joshua Chisanga got the ball, looked up and said, "Benjamin Soto, where are you? I'm going to run straight on off that man," and brushed him off as well. It's a great start. Both teams really going at it, nothing held back.
Well,
Mark is here.
it's all about rhythm and swing at the moment for these two teams. Chile seem to have settled down the earlier bit of the two teams. You'd have to say the threat is certainly on the Kenyan side of the field.
Yeah, definitely looks like Chile are trying to punch their holes and use the offloads and getting behind the gain line, but at the minute those offloads aren't quite sticking. If we can hold a bit more depth or seem a bit flat in the minute, hopefully we'll have a bit more success. But Kenya going to run out again by no doubt.
Chisanga again off the back and takes it wide to create a bit of width. More pressure coming in from Chile. And the touch finder, Flair, flies away downfield from the number 10, Simeo.
Just being in the wars already, isn't he? Got a bandage on, trying to get game in the forwards.
It's unusual for a first 5'8" to be carrying a bandage around the head. He's probably said something to a prop.
He's upset someone for sure. So
game one of the Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. Chile taking the ball well through Petrovic. Into the midfield they take it. Good defence by CG. Well, they flood wide, they break away. Chile a real effort now into the 22 and they flying to clear it out. Running on hard and met even harder by Chisanga. What a big tackle from the number 8. That was a screamer. Semiu onto the left foot. Doesn't go anywhere, or doesn't go where he'd want it to go. And from the back, Chile flood back into the red zone. Baskinan, Vivaldi, Vidal drops the ball. And just a little mistake. Chile starting to build a bit of rhythm here.
yeah, we certainly are. We're picking holes in Kenya. Kenya look a bit panicked in the scramble defence here, and but Chile be getting frustrated. They're making line breaks. It's just the odd little unforced errors. You see the 10 there, taking his eyes off the ball. Santiago Videla, coach will be pulling his hair out, but we're getting there, Chile. If we can just get these little offloads to stick, we're building a few phases. Clearly, we're going to send a big man out in the middle of the back row. Lutevera, 8-6 in the big second row.
Whoa!
Mario Mayol is getting for a lot of work and try and set their backs loose because the Chilean backs want to run as well.
The scrum again, walking off the mark. Referee will be, well, he won't reset. In fact, it's a short arm restart to Chile. So at least they're going, this is being consistent. First short arm in favour of Kenya. Next one in favour of Chile.
Gone for the scrum, haven't they? Midfield scrum.
First row.
Set themselves up, and I'm sure we'll see something off here off the first phase.
No.
Well, I don't know if
be stable.
Francisco
Okay? It's impossible to play.
De La
Let's go,
Fuente
scrum.
has ever been tackled like that. I assume he has.
He got absolutely hammered. He bounced off a turf.
Yeah. Frightening, wasn't it? Soto was definitely covering that channel.
Yeah. Big powerful men in Kenyans, no doubt about it. Happy to throw himself about as well. So Chile look to get a squeeze on here at the scrum. stack the left-hand side here. Looks like Benjamin Soto will be off our run.
So penalty for Chile. Kenya just not quite able to absorb the power, and a kickable penalty. This could be the first earn of the game.
Yeah, the Chilean loosehead Claudio Zamorano, as I said before, he's a very stocky, solid man. He's the kind of guy, size-wise, a nightmare for a big tight head. And you've got Curtis Lilaco on the tight head for Kenya there. He's a big, tall man, so he's obviously struggling a bit of a height there. Zamorano's getting.
Good call, Steve. Thank you very much.
In fact, look across the Chilean front row. We're all quite short fellows, so they'll be getting that scrum down low and really trying to go through it.
Ian Zawiski from literally in front.
Maybe able to get this one after he missed his first from a fairly similar position.
He won't miss that one. It's pretty simple for the Chilean fullback as he opens up the scoring in game one of the Cup of Nations. Chile 3, Kenya 0, and sustained period of attack results in 3 points. It's a small return for a big effort.
Yeah, just reward. Listen, Chile have been the first half of the game has been played in the Kenyan half, isn't it? Certainly the last 15 minutes from that initial attack. So Chile get on the board first, and they'll get straight back down there. Look, definitely playing a territory game, Chile.
From the restart. And now Kenya come flying back through this dangerous player, number 8, Soto. What a handful he looks. And Chile through.
Chile final defence here. It's risky, but he's wrapped him up.
What an opportunity for Kenya to get on the front foot here as they try and stretch them, but the shape from Chile's good, and they're quite content not to commit too many bodies to the tackle area. As Kenya get through and they keep on rolling. That's nice play by the front row forwards.
The Kenyans working hard there to keep it alive in contact and offload when they can.
On Somos. Gets it back and finds one of his big runners. On Somos again now. Simiyu. There's a chase coming through from Chile. It looks pretty good. Chile's got it in hand. Oh, and it bounces away. How cruel can it be?
Oh, it's another handling there from Chile.
Yeah.
They'll be getting more and more frustrated.
Franco Velarde making an excellent run.
Sorry?
The bounce through ball, we know how cruel it is. It's been cruel again there, isn't it? It's just escaped his clutches. He had it in his hands, Jed.
Oh.
He was over a line. I think he had a bit of white line fever.
As the IM replay show.
He had it. It was in the bread basket.
And that's half-break for Chile there.
Oh, but could have been a moment of glory.
Oh, just too slippery in the left
We've
corner.
seen again off a turnover there, you know, Chile turned the ball, not looking to get the kind of traditional 2 passes and throw it wide there. But getting the hand on the ball and getting it straight back down the paddock, really trying to suffocate the Kenyans in their own half.
Well, the Chilean play at the moment, structures seem to be a lot more organised. Certainly the defence. One-on-one, it looked like Soto might go right through the lot of them, but they were able to bring him down. And
Yeah.
They, as you said, Musa, they've managed to sweep back down the field
Here.
and put the Kenyans up against the wall again.
By
So
name. That's right. Okay.
there seems to be a little bit of dysfunction between 9 and 10 at the moment from Kenya. And Simiyu just doesn't seem to be settling in quite so good.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, look, Chile are settling in. We've got the patterns. Chile have clearly got a game plan, and I think there's possibly an aspect of Kenya. I've got a game plan, but we look to 1 or 2 individuals for some moments of brilliance to get them going.
Kenya, ball in hand, as Simiyu drives it out onto touch, and it looks like the right foot's his favoured foot for sure. Doesn't go too far down the line.
under a lot of pressure there. I'm sure now Chile want to get this ball up and into them all, won't they, and have a rumble. We'll be looking to lips at the rest of the Chilean pack.
So I haven't seen any kicking from Somos, and they may want to use them to change it up. Chile at the front. They sweep it away. The door looks wide open for Chile here if they can straighten it up and go for the line. Ball, I think the ball's spilled out though. I thought they might have shifted that well enough, but good play by Kenya to drive them out.
Yeah, great defence, but Chile almost panicked there, like you said. If it just taken a bit, another second got set, they could have rumbled it over, but just a little bit impatient in them all there, and well done, Kenya.
The IM replay showing pretty clearly that there was a wide channel there for Chile to just straighten up and go through. Didn't quite get any balance on that drive, that ball head though, so an opportunity gone missing.
Claudio Zamorano to have a real crack at this kind of scrum here. See if we can milk another penalty.
Important scrum in this early stage of game one of the 2017 Cup of Nations, brought to you by Regal Hotels. Soto takes it off, he gets wide and goes straight through the fly half channel. Goodness gracious me, what a terrible situation that was for the fly half. As Medio, the fly half for Kenya, manages to get one down range.
Santiago Videla, he'll be feeling that one tomorrow. He's just been run over by a double-decker bus.
He won't want to be watching that, that's for certain. It'll be a video analysis clip. He'll be fast-forwarding pretty quickly.
Left inside.
Yeah, I'm sure his teammates have a bit of a laugh at that one, won't they? Possibly come up in a fine session.
Chile towards the back, it's overthrown, and this is dangerous for the Embers. Soto, he's in everything at the moment. There's Soto. Seems to be a magnet for the ball on Somos. Static ball and the pressure's on, so a kick from Somos. It's the first one we've seen from the Kenyan halfback. And Chile move it into midfield as Nzuski takes it into 10 metres into the Kenyan half. Kenyan defence. A little bit of ball watching there on the short-hand side, but it's been lost forward. Another handling error by Chile, and Simi decides he's going to put it down into space, and that's probably not a bad option. It's a good kick. It's a difficult kick, and as you'd expect, the Kenyan chasers coming through at a rapid rate of knots, and they've worked their way out of their own half, Kenya. And hopefully this is a sign of they've started to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, we are. Chile are making it hard for themselves, aren't they, Jed? They've had two good line-outs. The hookers were thrown to them in good positions. A lot of knock-ons. They're not making it easy for themselves.
Hacked ahead by the number one prop, Zamorano. So that small gain immediately lost. Great work taken down at 5 by Mangini.
Advantage offside by the blue.
Hands in the ruck there.
On the line out, offside, all offside.
Kenya now, no tapping loads this time. The 10 straight in the ball, and he's going to nudge it down. Use that height in the line out. Good to see the spiral. Haven't seen the spiral tornado touch finder for a while.
Well, it's not the prescribed version of the kick anymore. Used to be natural for everyone. The mighty spiral kick. I've still got it, Lisa. That's about all, eh?
The scathing crossfield torpedo.
Good move down the back by Kenya into midfield. Simu unloads it and they crash it straight up. It's good, hard running by the Kenyans, and it looked like it had been picked off, but there might be an opportunity here to go to the posts. There's referee Belay.
Looks like they're calling for a tee in the box here, and they are.
Take a look at the IM replay. Nice straight run, although it was more at the faces than it was the spaces. And indeed, there might have been a wee hand in there to pop things up.
It's been a case of both teams, a lot of unforced errors, Jed. Any team with Chileans had a couple of good attacks, they're spilling the ball, the Kenyans build phases and spill the ball. It's, you know, there's certainly a bit of nervousness in both teams, isn't there?
Well, replays today brought to you by Interception Management. It's a wonderful addition to the coverage for 2017 as kids adds 3 for Kenya and they pull up even. So Kenya 3, Chile 3 through the boot of Darwin Mukidza.
Kenya out. It's their first endeavour into a Chilean half and they come away a point. So 3-all after the first 25 minutes.
It'll be, well, they got down there. They've scored their 3 points. We're back to even Stevens as Videla restarts. And it's a little bit scrappy, but Kenya take the ball.
Inside by the Reds.
Medio seems to have found his feet in the international field. As they, good break down the side by number 11, Maladi. He's looked strong on the wing for Chile and they push it wide now. Chile, but it all seems to be reasonably flat-foot balls. The Kenyans track across and hunt them towards the touch and the light ball, the loose ball. They sweep down on it, but it's Chilean ball by the look of it. Plenty of bodies over the ball. It's heavy exchanges up front. Good to see. Finally, the box kick from Baskunan, fielded with 15. Tony Onyango. Now they come wide.
Good turnover.
Great turnover by Chile, the big centre getting in there.
And
and
he's off. Buscanan's off. They transfer it well. Chile playing with some real urgency, but it spills out.
No, the contest is good, no problem.
And it'll be lost forward by Kenya.
So it's no blue player.
Head feed for Chile. They are putting all sorts of pressure on this Kenyan outfit.
Yeah, they are, but they'll be getting frustrated because once again, great turnover from the centre in there. I think there's the outside centre. Jose Lorenzas went in there, turned the ball, and the halfback takes off. But it's another unforced error. We go in, you've seen the replay here, set the ruck up, and it's just poor presentation, and it's costing them dearly. Chile at the minute. They're getting themselves in good positions. They're playing the phases, but they're killing themselves with the errors.
Comments from Daniel Musa, co-commentator here today. Game 1 of the 2017 Cup of Nations, brought to you by Regal Hotels. This vision coming to you from Hong Kong. Welcome to our viewers from right around the world. In particular, Kenya and in Chile, as Baskunan sends the ball out. Videla, he doubles around. They go wide. That's a great move from the Chilean side. Kenyan defence out wide is it's pretty canny. Petrovic drives forward and Baskunan finds Videla, and again another handling error. It's not like they're losing it behind them. Just a little bit of timing.
Yeah, we're starting out. You wonder if perhaps Videla's feeling the effects of that the big fend off from Chisanga earlier on. Rattled him a little bit, but
We can go, let's go.
Final 10 minutes of the first half. Here in game 1, coming up next. Game 2, Hong Kong versus Russia. Russia's 3rd time at the Cup of Nations. Twice champions now, and a big effort will be required by the home team. And that's not for another 50 minutes time as we watch Kenya now. through
pressure from
on
the Chilean
Somos.
scrum.
Medio again from in front of his sticks. Stands the exit plate down range, and he does look much happier playing off towards the right side of the field. It might be something that Chile want to look at half time.
Yeah, indeed. Well, you wouldn't say he's got the safest kick in the game, would you, Jed? Been effective so far, but perhaps not the prettiest. So a lot of pressure on Chile here now. Thomas Dusalat's definitely got to find his man as they're overthrowing a couple. The Kenyan heightened defence obviously putting him on some pressure. And again he overthrows it.
Kenia take the loose ball and they sweep forward. Out now to the captain. Kapondo, they wide now, Kenya. Oh, looks like they might have lost that forward. Well, actually, it might have been helped out by the Chileans. Kenya will take the line out throw from the far side of the park. Well, they kind of feel like they've been living off errors, really.
Open the gap.
Kenyan side. As they all taken well. Have 5 by Mangini. Back flick pass not quite working out as CG comes flooding on.
No. Ball go forward.
Yeah, you made the point there, Jed, about Kenya kind of living off scraps and errors, but it looks to be like the kind of team will kill you off an error or scrap. They'll get a quick turnover and they'll be away with their big men and at pace. So Chile have got to tighten this up. One for their own benefit. A lot of unforced errors, overthrown set pieces, but they're putting themselves at risk here from a turnover try from these explosive Kenyans.
Yeah, there's a ton of deadliness about the Kenyan transition game. You can see it.
Okay.
They process the gaps pretty quickly, and they know that the first thing you do when you get the ball is go straight at the other line. They're not backwards about going forwards, and they're experts at finding the space.
Be careful.
And I think they've been well served also, Kenya, by their back three defence. Their outside defence has been pretty good, because whenever Chile's gone there, more often than not, they've been stopped out there.
Yeah, more not to be a task out wide. I think Chile are going to have to find a bit of a more direct route, try and send some rounds up the middle, suck these guys off a wing and go that way, because they're certainly not going to go around the outside of the Kenyans.
Well, if you're watching through Facebook Live, there's certainly a lot of support for both teams. There's Lorenzo Jar. Looks like he's a big Chilean fan. Wonderful for you to join us online. It's great to have some interaction with the fans watching internationally. We hope you enjoy the vision today and in the next week or so, as both of these teams get ready to appear on 2 more occasions. Back to play now.
It's like Daniela Goomba there, a Kenyan fan. Too many errors. I think we can agree with that from both sides so far, Jed.
There's the... Well, again, more trouble at the scrum, and I wonder if they'll be calling up the fullback for a long range attempt, or whether they might tuck it down into the pocket.
Yeah, from what I've seen, Jed, I don't know if a fullback's got the legs for this, to be honest.
Yeah,
So we watch the IM replay here, and didn't quite get to it, but they were pushing hard well before the ball was anywhere near the scrum.
Yeah, I definitely think the Kenyan front row are struggling to height a little bit against their shorter opponents, who are obviously very powerful men. So Dusalan again, the Chilean hooker, needs to hit this, or he could be under pressure at half time for a substitution, because
Taken well. Petros, midfield to the powerful number 12, De La Fuente. And they move it even wider. That almost looked like a hospital pass, to be fair, but Kenya have done well to keep Chile behind the gain line on that occasion. And they line up and have another go at them. Look at them come flying through this Kenyan side. Chile now Baskunan. It's a bounce pass. Kenyans are right there, showing a lot of enthusiasm in the closing moments of the first half. It's good to see out of this Kenyan side. Put the pressure on. Go wide again. It's a crunching tackle out wide. Heavens above. We might have mentioned it before in this broadcast already. You go wide here and you go wide at your own peril.
GJ, look, that's on the far side of the pitch. Imagine we could hear that. Absolute bone-shattering tackle. And the Kenyans aren't taking a step back in defence. The Chileans aren't taking a step back in attack. So it's both sides throwing the kitchen sink at it, as it should be.
It's a line out restart. Kenia goes down and finds Chenga. Quite happy to keep the captain out of the line out, let him run the ball up. On Sumu. Swift hands to Chenga again. On Sumu back to the skipper. Oh no, it's not. Looked like Soto. Lost forward. Chile with the ball. They might get one last crack at the Kenyan line here. Chile, if they play their cards right. If they go charging down the paddock now. Chile, good physical play by the forwards. Baskunan. He finds the number 8. Soto.
He's been busy, so doesn't he? He's been everywhere. He's been looking to carry, looking to get some hits in defence. He's had a busy half, so too. Kenya again, just a couple of times now we're getting a bit naughty at the breakdown there. We need to just behave themselves. Could be a card coming.
Check out the interception management replay. They're all over the ball there, and they're all in terrible positions. It's a horrible picture for the referee. He's really given no option. And a pretty good opportunity for the fullback, Ian Iskweski.
Hardly a drop of wind in the air tonight, Jed. Hopefully, you'd think he should slot this one over.
Well, an opportunity to lodge a score just before the half-time whistle. It's all important as the shot goes, and it's pretty good. Very good, in fact, and away they go. 3 points clear again. It's 2 penalties to 1, 6-3 the score.
Up to 6 points. Kenya trailing on 3.
Only a couple of minutes remaining on our clock. The referee might have a few moments left. He was a blood bin and a couple of time offs during the half.
Chile weathered a bit of a storm there, didn't they? Kenyans came into their half, but they got out of it, and they've come on with points again.
10 meters, blacks. Ball don't pass the 10 meters.
Kick-off didn't go 10 there, so Chile up for the scrum in the midfield.
Well, they do have a little bit of time on the clock, but it'll be interesting to see what the Chilean attitude is to this.
Mark is clear. It's okay for you?
I should be left.
Midfield opportunity. They've got
No, they're on the middle, guys.
Valade. Number 11, he's been playing a fine hand so far in the first 40. He'd always be keen to see his get his hands on the ball.
Zamorano can get a side of scrum up here on the loose head. Release Soto, and we could have some numbers here and a chance down the left-hand side.
Here it begins the scrum, and it's kept square by Kenya. They've been wound back, and off they go. Soto, he breaks to the far side. Met strongly by Simu. Ball again. This Chilean handling's something to be concerned about. We're talking about that at the halftime break. There's no doubt. A bit tentative going at that Kenyan line at present. Baskunan, and they've caught them behind the line again. Partial charge down. I think they're all on side. They are. And now Kenya. This could be threatening if they find some space in the way they go through Chenga. and he unloads and he finds the skipper, but it's lost forward, and now Chile sweep onto attack and they put the speculator down range. Covering across, lone Kenyan defender onto the right foot. Has he found the touch? And he hasn't. And so Soto gets things going again from the back. De La Fuente into contact. They're back inside the Kenyan half. Baskanan. They go wide again and waiting for it is Valade. Didn't get to him though. The ball trickles into touch. And referee Belay calls time off for the first 40 minutes as we close off the opening half of game one of the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. It's Kenya 3, Chile 6. Daniel Musa, first half, thoughts and comments?
Listen, I think not a bad half of rugby from the Kenyans. A lot of endeavour, a lot of aggression. They're throwing themselves into contact and defence, and we've seen they're running it. They're running tap penalties. They're not scared to throw the ball into pace. And then from Chile, we're seeing a much more territorial game. They're trying to get some structure, trying to get some phases and build scores. But from both teams, unfortunately, it's probably been the first half of unforced errors, isn't it?
I think both teams settling down to the environment. It's been a long trip for both the Simbas and for Chile to get to Hong Kong. And then once you get here, there's a lot of settling in to do. And on top of that, a point you made earlier, which is quite valid, the surfaces here, they play a lot different. The ball runs a lot different. It's a lot to cope with. But we have seen, I think, this Kenyan team actually settle down a little bit. But by gee, when they get some loose ball, you can feel it's just bristling, the attack in them.
Yeah, it's coming. And if Kenya can just tighten up the handling a little bit, we'll get some tries without shut out. The big men, the big 8, the big 7, the captain at second row, big huge carries off the centres, they're picking holes, they're hitting angles, and it's just unfortunate about offload going astray because there's gaps of when you say it's coming, it's bristling. Chile look to me a little bit worried about the Kenyan defence. They look worried about the big hits. I think the Kenyan team have got them rattled, and it's playing the Chilean minds, and that's perhaps why we're seeing a lot of the knock-ons because they're trying to get rid of that ball. They're worried about a big blindside hit coming in from the Kenyans, and boy, they're coming in.
So, half-time here at the Cup of Nations brought to you by Regal Hotels. Coming up on the 14th, the second round of games back here at Kings Park. And then the tournament concludes on the 18th, next Saturday, down at the Hong Kong Football Club. Magnificent environment, and the event is this Festival of International Rugby. Takes part in the international window happening right around the world at the moment. The Southern Hemisphere teams visiting the Northern Hemisphere. We saw a very entertaining game between the All Blacks and the Barbarians. Basically an All Black trial, Musa.
It was, yeah, wasn't it? It was the All Blacks against the overseas All Blacks. A cracker game, but look, there's a lot of good rugby on at the minute. Samoa, despite their financial woes, are playing against Scotland this week. The Chilean counterparts, 7 American counterparts, Argentina against England. So it's a feast of rugby the next few weeks, and it's great to have some international rugby here in Hong Kong, isn't it?
It certainly is. Well, we spoke about Chile earlier on. Kenya early on. Chile, well, what can you say? They've actually looked pretty good out of the box.
Yeah, they have. Chile, you can tell they've got a game plan. They want to play territory. They want to bang in the corners, smother the Kenyans in defence, and when they get it, punch holes, set the phase up, and try and build some scores. But they're stifling themselves again in the unforced errors. They get themselves. We've seen 2 or 3 times they've had lineouts in great positions, and the hookers unfortunately are overthrown. It's just cost them Chile a little bit because it definitely had times they could have scored. The winger had the ball in the breadbasket and it slips out. So I'd imagine the Chilean coach will be giving him a bit of a stern talking to at half time, and the Kenyan coach not so much. More to sort of stick to task, do what you're doing, it's going well.
So those are the pictures. Let's take in some shots from earlier in the half as we take a look at some of the highlights brought to you by the IM replay. And number 8 is Soto. This is the first, the opening penalty. It's just a lazy tackle. Slipped up high, opening part of the game. You can almost be forgiven as the open side flanker for pulling that one off. He went off with the blood bin afterwards. Here was a chance for Valade, and that's the sort of one that makes you feel a little bit sick as a winger.
Yeah.
Those two key moments brought to you by the IM replay. Well, look, as you said, it's just sometimes the ball doesn't help though, Musa.
No, it doesn't. Without doubt, you mentioned their surface, Jed. This artificial surface is hard. It balances, and the ball does balance and skid a bit differently. But of course, like, you can never. No one knows where the rugby ball is going to go when it bounces. But it's going to be great. I think look, the next 10 minutes of the second half is going to be interesting. Both teams struggling for ascendancy. Was it probably swinging towards Kenya at the end of that first half? I think so.
Yeah, possibly so. They certainly have been able to sneak their way almost out of their own quarter. And like we said, if there's a half a chance that it might pop open and turn into broken field play, they look like they could just walk through Chile as if they were paper.
Yeah, without doubt. And look, the Kenyan line-out's working well. They've got some big targets in there. They're getting good, clean ball, and they're sending their captain off the middle. He's making yards. So it's coming for Kenya. If they can tighten up, just stop the loose passes, we could see a very different second half and a different Kenyan team.
Well, again, a massive hello to the online audience, and particularly the very vocal audience on Facebook Live. Good to see the flags and messages of support coming through for the teams. I'm sure when they look back on the replay, as a lot of the players will, they'll be feeling just that little bit closer to home. There's the magnificent profile of the Roman Emperor, Daniel Musa.
Yeah, what a great Kenyan.
My word, what a magnificent looking pair they are. And probably a good opportunity to pan away there. In fact, the directors have come to their senses, and away we are.
I think they realised they didn't have a panoramic lens on, did they?
Well, they'll be regretting that. There'll be an injury call after this. There they are. Chilean team, and I can't imagine the trip that they've been on to get here. Getting to South America is hard enough. Flying out of there must be a bit of a journey as well. What are we looking at? Santiago. I wonder if they go direct to Hong Kong. Oh, that would be a big flight.
Yeah, no, certainly when the Hong Kong boys went down to Uruguay, different side of the country, I have to say, but they went down through Paris, down through Europe and across, so two kind of 12-hour flights. So it's no sort of short hip and a skop and a jump, is it? But what a great occasion for these guys. It's a World Cup qualifier. You're on the road. Many of these guys possibly not been to Asia before. It's brilliant. It's what rugby's all about.
So the Simbas trailing Chile by 3 points here at Kings Park Sports Ground in Kowloon, Hong Kong, as Hong Kong hosts the 2017 Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. It's a 4-team tournament. Up next will be the second broadcast. Now, just to let you know that at the end of this match, the transmission will end and it'll restart again with about 5 minutes to go before kickoff between Hong Kong and Russia. The second game this evening from Kings Park.
Promises to be a cracking game as well, doesn't it, Jed? Two old foes. They've played each other countless times the last 2 or 3 years, and they've always been good matches. Hong Kong never got quite ready, never quite got there.
Well, they've always played, I think they've always played above themselves against Russia. They've certainly risen to the challenge, but Russia just seemed to have too much across the park for Hong Kong on each occasion.
Yeah, and Russian rugby seems to be only getting stronger. They've got a couple of teams now playing that European Challenge Cup, so Russian rugby is clearly on the up, and without a shadow of a doubt, that's going to have an effect on the wider rugby in the country. And I watched a press conference earlier in the week and saw the Russian coach saying he'd brought some younger guys out, so it'll be interesting to see how they go tonight, and Hong Kong will be licking their lips and trying to get home victory.
Well, plenty of experience in the Hong Kong side, but that's still to come as we get ready for the second half and the lovely landscape of the evening, the surrounding area of Jordan. People do watch rugby in Hong Kong, they just prefer to watch it on Facebook Live.
Why wouldn't you? What a great way to watch it.
With a bowl of char siu.
and a ching towel in some cases, although other beverages are available.
Well, it's probably want to point out that it is Friday afternoon, and it's probably going to take a little while for the working public to get their way over to Kowloon. So the 7 o'clock kickoff, a lot easier to attend than the 5 p.m. one. And that'll have something to do with the lack of the crowd on site at the moment. But if online's anything to go by, that's where it all is. So some final instructions for the Simbas. There's Chile with a determined look. Come back into
To take himself
the
off
field
the
of
paddock.
play.
And here we go, both teams gearing up for the
Second half action only moments away, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined us now, welcome one and all to Kings Park and Kowloon, Hong Kong, for this second half action between Kenya and Chile. Game 1 of the 2017 Regal Hotel Cup of Nations.
Regal Hotel's Cup of Nations.
Yep, second half now. It's Friday night lights. The sun's out, the lights are on. Then we're off here for the second half. Kenya, for sure, going to look to start where we left off. A big physical presence and get the big men punching holes from the
Blacks
start.
okay? Red's okay?
Simu with the kickoff, and it's Kenya in the red, Chile in the gunmetal grey. And the exit play from Chile, pretty effective. In fact, outstanding as they push Kenya back inside their own half.
We saw in the first half, Chile aren't looking to play any sort of rugby in their own half, rather than they don't have to. If they get the ball, they exit well, and they'll get down and try and pressurise the Kenyans into an error.
They touched at the back and around the corner. It looks like Kamchenga.
No.
And Simu, they go wide with good strong blitzing defence by Chile. Keeps them well behind the gain line, and they've taken more yards out of them, Chile. Oh my word. That's a heavy bit of contact there. Chenga drops the shoulder on the Chilean marker. The kick fielded by the fullback, Ian Zawiski. Petrovic drives forward. Spilled again, but straight into the hands of the Kenyan player, and they go searching for some space, Kenya. Now, Simu fields it out. It looks like Chenga in the action again. He's all over the place at the moment. Simu, it's good to see him take the ball and show some positivity. He's been in his shell a little bit, and here they go. Oh, they just about flew into something out wide. The Simbas. Look, it's just there or thereabouts, Daniel Musa.
Yeah, that could have been interesting. It was definitely the big fullback came onto that pace. There was a hole there, but once again, the pass just not quite accurate. But Kenya look a bit more settled this first half. The second half now, they took that turnover. They're happy to build some phases, and they've clearly been told just try and look after the ball, build the phases, and it'll come. Chile again, another unforced error that's really mounting up against him here.
So, line out, Chile, attacking position. De La Fuente lost forward, and still the issue with the hands continues for Chile.
Not on black.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, maybe it is effects of that long journey. It's going to take them a game to shake the journey out their legs and out their hands, because more and more unforced errors. It's across the park now. It's the forwards, the back, so it's really costing them. Kenya, no doubt, will look to play from here, Jed, despite the fact they're under 22.
Okay, crouch. Fine.
important scrum here for Kenya.
Stay behind 9.
At the back. Chisanga, he got it away and they managed to get the ball. So they've managed to work themselves out of trouble. Chile. Kenya, they put together a couple of phases, move down range. Big take at 5 for Chile, and they walk Chile back, the Kenyans. It's a good drive. They're up high, though. Very, very high. Still the balls at the back. Still working up front. Now, Somos. Fire it even wider now. Looking around the fringes for the space. Medio. Ball slowly out of the ruck. Good, strong tackle. Petrovic. He's getting around the field. He's putting in some big work. There's the Chilean open side.
Number
Pretty
4.
conspicuous with the blonde locks.
Infringement here. Not
So another big contact. This is
Buscanan
great.
does his imitation of a human speed bump.
I think it's fair to
Look at
say
this. Here we go.
Kenya are
Great
definitely
tackle
winning the
by
physicality
Petrovic.
stakes, aren't they?
On the IM replay, a great tackle by Petrovic, and then they shot off down the line. Poor old Buscanan, he was the next guy to wear it.
Oh, we've got the ice bath up at Kings Park for the Chileans after this because they'll be sore. They've been in the match.
So Kenya pull down at the front, at the back, and whistle it through.
No black player.
Accidental offside the call. So there's a turnover there and a defensive scrum for Chile. But it's good to see Kenya at this end of the park.
Yeah, look, the game's definitely settled, hasn't it, this first half? Kenya have calmed down, they're taking their time, they're building the phases, they're slowly making it out of the park. It's definitely a different feel to this half. And you can feel the Kenyans here are building something, aren't they, Jed?
Here's the scrum. It's all important that Kenya can maintain themselves up front. Good work by the Chilean pack. Look at that as they just fold. Kenya Ben Soto comes off the back, drives forward, finds De La Fuente. Buscanan now. Vidala, he's taken. What a great tackle by the Kenyan centre. Back pass, slips out, goes to the ground, but it still works for Chile, and they get themselves up and over the half now. Now building some front foot ball. Petrovic. Buscanan looking, he puts the speculator down the channel. And a sequence of play that sweeps Chile some 80 metres down the field. Probably the best sequence we've seen out of them for the game.
Yeah, it's good. Chile, if in doubt, they go to their big pack and a great scrum from Chile, give it back to the platform and a solid exit. And again, you look to build some phases, and like you said, Jed, best play of the game for them because they've held the ball.
Well, that's the simple things. There's no doubt about it. As expert comments of Daniel Musa alludes to. There's nothing like holding on to the ball.
It's a simple game, Jed. It's a simple game.
So Kenya in defensive mode. Look for the kick from Somos. Charging 4G, they made some distance quickly, didn't he, the chaser? It was OG. Buscanan picks up 6. Avia Richard. Buscanan again. Looks for another big whopper to come through, and he picks up Mayol, and Mayol drives and tumbles forward. Chenga over the top of him. He's done some good work, the flanker, but not good enough. Soto runs onto a cute little ball from Buscanan, and this is the sort of handling that makes the coaches feel a lot better Bascanan finds the first receiver. It's all starting to come together now for Chile. Pop through the line. Chases it too deep. Oh dear, look out. Here come the Simbas. This could go wrong in a hell of a hurry. Desperate tackle. And a good tackle too by Richard. Stops the advance by the Simbas on the 22, and the box kicks comes. Launch again from Ian's Whiskey. He unloads to Videla. Or Velade, I should say. Still the pressure coming on. There's a couple of bodies down for Chile. And I wouldn't be too surprised. The nature of the contact with the Kenyans at the moment has been nothing short of robust.
Not shy of a tackle to Kenyans, are they? But infringing once again the breakdown there. We're going to have to watch themselves because that's 3 or 4 breakdown penalties. But it looks like both coaches had the same message at half-time. Calm down, go back to shape, back to the basics, and both teams are doing that, and it's been a lot better this half. Chile and Kenya both working through the phases, finding the runners, setting up, and happy to try and be a bit more patient in the ball.
So it looks like a short time off called by the referee for injuries. More team mechanics come running on for the Chilean side, and Ian Zveski will take the ball back for a 4th shot on goal. As we just take a look on the IM replay, and he manages to get through. And Velade, well, he got the shoulder round, but he came off second best, so.
There's a shoulder right in the ribs. He needs a magic sponge out there, Jed. If he still have a magic sponge, a few dabs in the ribs, good to go again.
It's a winger, so a wee bit of powder on the nose and a pat on the back, he should be fine.
Touch up the foundation.
2 from 3 so far. Ian Zawicki. Out wide, a difficult kick. He's got good range though. Here's the strike, low and hard at the post, and look more like a cross for soccer rather than a shot at goal, but it's no points as the record slips to 2 and 4 now for the Chilean fullback.
I think the safe say I've definitely missed it, wasn't it? He's not hit that nicely. Pure strike off a tee, and it's another missed opportunity for points.
So Kenya managed to slip off the hook, and the restart as Videla lobs one down into space, rolls it into touch, and that's a nice touch by the Chilean fly half. It's exactly what his team would be happy to see. Even the front row forwards would be happy with him.
Yeah, they'll be delighted. The legs a bit light around to that one because that's a great nudge, and he's put his team in a good position here.
So Chisanga, look at the strength of the man. My word, he's a handful, and they look keen to run. Indeed, Kenya on Somos. Plays it close to the gain line. Somos diggling away. They might have turned that over. The referee's looking at it. He's happy with it. It's come back. The captain, though, Kapondo.
Kenya's got the advantage.
He's got it down and on the ground. Samuel, he puts the exit play into gear and sends Chile back towards the halfway. 6 points to 3. 12 minutes into this second half. And some early pressure from Kenya turned over by Chile, and they have been dominating the half so far.
Yeah, it's a totally different tale this half. First half we saw 2 teams pretty hair and scarum, throwing everything at it. Both teams overexcited, potentially and a bit nervous, but this half, both sides have settled down and both sides are feeling each other out here. And you say Chile camped down the Kenyan half again and just slowly grinding the gears.
So Chile keeping it tight. They rumble away at this Kenyan pack, and it's there. It's been a change, I think, at halfback as they break through from Videla. Good work from the first 5'8", and they take another run with them into the action. Belade setting targets and taking yards off them. It's a bustling run by Zamorano, the hooker. Again, they take that short channel. It's like it might have been lost over, and it lost forward. In fact, was the call. Well, they're playing with a little bit more accuracy now, the Chileans, and it's working for them.
Yeah, they definitely are, and they find some holes there in defence, Jed. Kenya, dare I say it, potentially don't look like the fittest side in the paddock there. I think Kenya may struggle a little bit as the game comes on, because Chile are starting to hit their strides. And you know, look a bit fitter, look a bit more composed at the moment. So, but they need to still get rid of these unforced errors. Because once again, it's cost them there. They've gone 6, 7, 8 phases, and it's fortunate to knock on, and they're under pressure now at scrum time.
So, in fact, that change has been made. Number 9, Sergio Bascanan, off. One Pablo Perotta on at halfback. Number 21 on your screen at the moment is Chisunga. Takes it from the back, and he gets swamped by the Chileans, and they won't go down. They're in danger of turning this over. And the referee does blow it up, and it does go to Chile, and now they've got themselves in a prime position.
Yeah, they'll fancy themselves here, Chile. We've taken the Kenyan scrum for a walk a couple of times. Without a shadow of a doubt, we'll have a crack here in the scrum time, or if not, Benjamin Soto's got control at the back of the scrum and get away if not. But dangerous times here for Kenya. Dangerous times indeed.
Well, we've been threatening at set piece time all day, the Chileans, and this time they took their opportunity and made it work beautifully.
Some fresh legs for Kenya in the front row there. Big number 17, Oscar Simiu coming on. Straight into the fray on his own 5 metre line.
So taking a seat is Uratia, the winger for Chile.
Roach! Bind! Set!
So they drop in, and they really want to put the heat on Kenya here, and they do, and they keep it nice and square, and this looks like it's going to end only one way. Off the back comes Soto. Soto, he just about got out of the tackle of Onsumu. That was a good effort by the halfback. Perotta works it back towards the blind side. He'll be looking for a heavy hitter if he can pick him up. Push a wee bit wider. I think that was the hooker into the action there. There's Soto again. Perotta. Now they break out. Videla, that's a try, the opening try of the tournament. And it comes to the fullback, Ian Zawicki. Well, they just punched away on the short side, created enough space, and then a super little touch by the first 5'8". Videla, as we watch on the IM replay, he gets it, and he just waits that perfectly for the fullback to dot onto. It's a tricky old ball. It didn't have to do that. It must have wanted to leap into the hands of the fullback, Musa.
Yeah, no, he's done well. Like we said before, Chile aren't having too much luck going around the outside of the Kenyans, are we, out in the wide channel? So, like, we've done well, built a score, built some pressure. Huge scrum from Chile. A few scrum purists may have said they should have kept it in there and kept walking on, but we worked it out, and they've stabbed a great little cover in the back there, and it's just a reward for Chile, who are becoming dominant. They're stepping up, they've tightened up, and the errors are disappearing from their game.
So here he is, the try scorer, fullback for Chile, Thomas Ian Zawicki. To convert his own try, it's a pretty positive kick off the boot, and looked a lot better than the one before that, and he sends through the 2. So a 7-point play prevails for Chile as they move further into the lead. But I don't think at any point they can feel too comfortable. They take a 6-3 lead. They turn it into a 13-3 lead. It's 10 points. But don't count out the Simbas.
Yeah,
They only need half a gap and they'll be away.
Definitely can't relax against these Kenyans. If they get a turnover ball or half a gap, like you say, there's plenty of gas to burn out there and they'll punish you.
So it's Samuel. High restart and it's taken. It's great. What a great chase it was by CG. He's got after that in a hell of a hurry, and he's brought down the opposition player, Videla. I think he was probably. Well, I think we were probably more surprised than him.
Videla, to be fair to me, he's taken the hits. He's had plenty of them. They've targeted him. They've sent a big men at him in attack. They smashed him in defence. But Videla, take it in the stride at the moment. If he's hurting, he's not showing it.
Fine. Set.
Well, scrum time for Kenya. There's on Somos. Simu. A little bit of sleight of hand. They managed to get a half breach though, and it's picked up at 6 by Nyambuya, but it's come back to Chile, and away they run now through the tight head prop. Magnificent shot of the tight head prop in full flight, and now Chile flood onto the ball. Action stations, Perota. He goes wide. Videla again. It'll bounce, will it? Oh, it doesn't do what it did previously for number 11, Valade. And he has not been the guy to run onto the ball. He's been beaten by the rugby ball twice tonight already.
Oh, poor old Vidala. He's not having a good game on the bounce of the balls, isn't he?
Wow.
He's doing everything right. You know, he's working hard off the ball. He's putting some positions, but the ball's not finding him. What's he got to do?
Well, he might have to change his aftershave. Maybe you have to run the unfair advantage, a bit of brute 33 on the hands.
If in doubt, go back to the brute, eh, Jed?
They'll come every time.
Tried and tested.
Every time. 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Well, the Kenyan front row is only getting bigger for substitutions.
Sorry, I think that the ball was touched for the and go
Oh,
out by the
weird.
blue. But no.
Is it possible? Into the final quarter of game 1, the 2017 Regal Hotel Cup of Nations. Kings Park, Kowloon the venue.
Okay, crouch.
Hong Kong the city.
Fine.
Chile at the moment with the
Oh, 9, stay behind.
grey shirts taking on Kenya on the red. Chisanga, what an absolute monster. Chenga is not much less, and Simu, the fly half, as we made or observed earlier, he's much happier on the right foot, and once again the wide channel's closed down, although it's not Chisanga. Might have digged himself up there a wee bit. He's a big man, he's been putting in a lot of work.
Hasn't he just? He's been everywhere all over the park, attack and defence. But Kenya here, we're struggling to get their own half, and Chile are just camped down here, and they're starting to stifle and suffocate the Kenyans. And Kenya looks like they might start getting a bit frustrated, trying to throw the ball around and get out.
So some replacements being made. Jadino and Guaro come in, 20 and 19. Ball's overthrown, it comes back to Chile, and De La Fuente manages to shovel it off, and it did go forward as Videla made his way onto the ball.
Yeah. Black, yeah.
Piece of the back as the IM replay shows, and Videla got it, and De La Fuente just couldn't quite control the ball forward. Gunner not able to hold himself back.
Chile have got to make it a good side here. Jed is best out wide. Just again, just a bit keen at times and overrunning each other, and putting pressure on the ball carrier. If you can just find a bit of depth and time their runs, it could open up for them.
Kenya seem to have been so far this half perpetually battling out of their own red zone. Sunga again, it looks like. It's a Chenga. It's back and Simu this time onto the left foot, and that's the sort of trap that the Chileans be quite happy to lay. He knows, they know, we know. So I suspect that they might be trying to just keep it down this side of the field now. Certainly one way of neutralising the Kenyan fly half.
Yeah, Chile are happy to defend the Kenyans in their own line up now and push them into errors. And it's working for them.
Parada now looking for the ball at the back of the Chilean ruck, and he's hustled out of the way by the forwards as Benita takes it forward, and now the tidies are rolling into the action. Parada finds 20. Dajanino. Dagnino loses the ball forward. Still play on. Chile still have the board. Just creeping up now into a more dangerous position. Parada takes a short side look at it. They challenge for the line and they're taken into touch.
Big defence from Kenya.
Very, very good defence by Kenya. Desperation stuff. 64 minutes gone. We're moving down to the final 15 minutes of the game. Certainly Chile playing it at the right end.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any better for Kenya now, is it? The Chileans have got another scrum on the 5 metres, and we saw the last one. They'll take this for a walk.
The IM replay showed this tight work in the corner. And the Kenyans have done well all day to keep the gap sealed. Here's the embattled look of number 7, David Chenga. Left the field earlier in the game with what was quite clearly a broken nose. But as all loose forwards do, he was keen to get back out there and keep his nose on the ball.
Yeah, look, absolutely no lack of commitment from Kenya, is there? No lack of commitment on the part from the Kenyans. They're everywhere and they're battling away now. Look, we're under pressure and they're being a bit suffocated, but we're still trying hard to get out of this. Big scrum here for the Kenyans. Need to hold this square and stop the Chileans getting a nudge.
Kenya checking in. A new player into the field comes number 18, Dennis Karani.
Okay. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum feed by Parada. It's Chile again. They start to wear into the Kenyan side, but that's well held. Strongly played.
Advantage.
Chile at the back. Good work from Soto. He gets wide. Sees Simu, who decides he's going to have a look at it. Tries to roll over. Dangerous stuff.
No.
Parada again at the back, and they've had a log of the line, and that might have was a try. No, penalty is the call.
I think Soto again there, Jed, he's maybe a bit guilty going a little bit too early in that scrum. It was still going forward, they had the pressure, could they make the penalty? They got in the end, but Soto's maybe a bit keen off the back.
Showing here, look, Soto comes off the back and he just keeps flying into it. That was a pretty good effort from Soto to get that far. Good pictures on the IM replay by the team here. And then the penalty's just coming up here. I don't think felt like he was ever on side with that. So, as you'd expect, Chile opt for the scrum. It's been a phase of the game that they've been powerful in. They'll be wanting to send a message here to all teams in the tournament that they can do the business up front if they have to. But I think some of the changes they've made, Kenya, they might have stiffened up a little bit up front.
Yeah, no, I think the two procs that come on there, Jed, have definitely made a difference. They had a real crack at the Chileans about 5 minutes ago on their own line, so they need a big scrum here from those guys, because if Chile get a nudge here and get a try, it could be close to curtains for Kenya.
Crouch. Fine.
So another attacking scrum for Chile turns into a try opportunity for Soto, and Soto powerful to the line. Oh, he must have come within an inch nose of getting it. In fact, he's over it. And if it's not, and it is De Soto, the try scorer, Benjamin Soto, the number 8, hard-working number 8. He's been a feature for this Chilean side all day, Daniel Musa.
Yeah, he's been knocking that line in over the last 4 or 5 minutes. He's been knocking away at that Chilean line, the Kenyan line, and he's finally found his way over. But he deserves that try. Right from the first minute from the game, he's been carrying hard, offering himself.
The IM replay, there it is, the quick reaction. Ball goes back. Soto, he's got 1, 2, then a few of the heavies arrive. Call may be he was never held. It doesn't matter because Petrovic turned up as well. Another hard-working loose forward, and they've been a real feature, those 3 players. Up front for Chile, but it's a 7-pointer, 20 points to 3 with the kick to come, and it's from a fairly handy position as well. For the fullback, Ian Zawiski.
For Chileans coach, half-time talk, it's clearly worked wonders, hasn't it, Jed? Because they've come out a different side the second half.
Yeah, they've looked much more settled in the second 40 of rugby. There's Ian Zawiski. His kick, it's successful, and so it's 22 points to 3. And really, this is probably a fair indication of the game. They've made the bulk of the play, Chile. And even though there's been times when Kenya has shown extreme threat, Chile have managed to dominate the territory, and they've been the first of the 2 teams to establish some sort of rhythm. Perrotta now onto the left foot. He sends it strongly down range. It's picked up by Chisanga. I don't know how he manages to get it everywhere, but he does. It's like there's 3 of them out there. Simiu shovels it on. The Simbas looking to cut them open out wide, and they almost managed to dance through the line. The penalty, though, and not releasing the ball. As we get probably a look at another penalty shot for Ian Zawiski. The IM replay. It's great footwork from the Kenyan runner. And then the referee right on the spot. Boulay says at no point ever tried to release it. And it's either release the ball and let the opposition have it, Daniel Musa, and then basically have to front up to the forwards after the game, or die with the ball in your hands.
Yeah, it is. Listen, Chile are growing into this game, aren't they? We're getting stronger and stronger, and Kenya are kind of getting more and more tired. And this defensive effort's really taking it out of their legs, isn't it? Bit of source of the breakdown there, and it's cost them. Chile look to keep the scoreboard ticking over. He'll be trying to improve on his 50% kicking success rate so far.
The Anis Zawiski's kick from out wide and long away. It's a great kick. Superb vision from the team on the cameras here as Ian Zawiski kicks another 3 points for Chile. And we're inside the final 10 minutes now. Kenya, well, even a scoring play now would put them in good stead for the rest of the tournament. But Chile have managed to muster up a shutout.
100%, Jed, but the problem at the minute for Kenya is they're not getting any ball whatsoever, and any ball they are getting, it's on their own line. So unless they can get some front foot ball in the Chilean half, it could be a difficult task for them in the next 10 minutes.
1-3, 1-3. I thought, wait. Number 13. He's off.
Plenty of fresh legs on for the Kenyans.
Okay,
They
he's
try
off.
and spark
Okay,
something
let's
here
go.
late on in the game.
So number 24, Kenya, Siko Adema restarts. And the exit play for Russia, for Chile, courtesy of Videla. Kenya pretty keen to push the tempo here. Go long and it's tapped out the back, and now they grab it. Wide they go, Videla. Short ball on, and a revisit of the horror hands for
Here, second there.
Chile.
Scrum.
So they've been sniffing around out wide all afternoon, have Chile. Haven't quite, as the IM replay shows, just loose ball in the end is number 11.
Yeah, they struggled in the wide challenge and across the board of Chileans, but I think, listen, in the first 10-15 minutes, the Kenyans were putting some huge hits in there. And I've no doubt that's had a bit of an effect on the psychology of the Chilean guys, potentially.
So the tight head prop for Chile,
Crouch.
Jose Tomas
Behind.
Anita, comes from the field after a pretty good shift out there in the middle. With only 8 minutes or so remaining
Stay
on
behind.
the clock. Kenya now. Big, strong run from Colonzo in 22. They shovel it wide again. 12 is Suji.
Ball is there. Hold.
Chilean defence though, it's organised. And now the visit of the horror hands for the captain, Wilson Kapondo. And look at them, they've been toiling away. Pushed hard in the IM replay. The good shots from the camera team here for the IM replay. As we saw that, the ball's just gone straight to deck. Sorry, from Bina.
Sorry?
Chile looked to go again here, wouldn't they, Jed? I think they look to set up another attack, have another crack. It's a lot of claret there, isn't it, from the 12, the Chilean 12 there. That's a big collision.
De La Fuente, they'll be wanting to fix him up for later in the tournament because he looks like he's a player they base quite a bit of their structure around. He's run onto the ball a couple of times today and looked pretty threatening.
Could be wearing the old the tape and the headband next game, I think, Jed. That looks like a bad cut.
Behind. Set.
They put in Perotta, feeds the scrum. Chile, it's at the back. There's some good sized pressure there from Kenya for the first time of the game. We've seen them really sort of make a fist of it up front, and Soto finally decides to release. Videla takes it into contact, and Perotta keeps it going the same way. Petrovic, he's been a standout today so far.
Play on.
The blonde-haired flanker.
Don't touch the ball. Play on.
Had his nose in absolutely everything.
Hands up, Fred.
Perotta complaining.
Ball is there.
It's a halfback's prerogative. Short side they dart again. Pounding attack from Chile. And they finally release. Managed to get some good continuities in this second half. And here's an opportunity. Good run there from number 11, Velarde.
Advantage.
Almost cut the line. It's a turnover though for Kenya. Now let's see what the Simbas can do as they push it wide, and ultimately they're taken into touch. A good tackle by number 22, Balbotan.
Yeah, Velati again. I don't think he's going to enjoy watching this game back. Another error for him in the breakdown there. Lost the ball forward in contact, and he struggled with his hands a bit today, hasn't he?
There's an injury player on the middle of the
He's
pitch.
put himself in spaces, but
Stop.
he's just struggled to hold onto that ball. It's evaded them all night.
Well,
I stopped because
the
you're on the
arrival of
middle
number
the pitch.
19,
Okay, we have to go.
Vincent Mose. There's a little bit of cramp and a little bit of travel.
Okay.
And a whole lot of moisture have probably
Strong.
come out of those legs today.
Good.
So I replay show it. Just good scrambling defence for Chile. In fact, they've been interesting is that middle quarter between the end of, or the start of the second half and the 60th minute was really where Chile showed some good form, and they've been able to hold and maintain their game from that point on. And they've been chasing all day, Chile. They start just chipping away, and 21 is Siligua. Oh, the bump off by the big man, and
Another big fence.
keeps on rumbling, and they try and edge it away into this blindside channel. There's no real space for them. It's easy pickings for the Chilean defence. Well, maybe that's not easy pickings. Look at that guy go. Right, he wasn't dying for anybody.
Legs like pistons there, Jed.
Here we go. Kenya with some ball. He's looking for someone to go with him. It was number 6, Nyambua. Nyambua. It's started a bit of a chain reaction here. The ball gets stripped clear, but they're all over them. Look at them flooding through the Simbas. And be enough to put the fear under it, to be fair.
That Kenyan bench has a big impact, doesn't it, Jed? To have to come off a bench, fresh legs. And look, obviously these guys on the bench tonight really trying to put a hand up for selection later in the week.
Well, the kick from Siligua successfully found the ground and sent them up the field. He's a guy that's been putting in a big effort today. He's been outstanding. Be looking forward to seeing his progress over the tournament. Anton Petrovic. There's Perotta on the left foot. He's been good since he made his appearance in the game as well. The replacement halfback for Chile. Little knock on.
Knock on by the rest.
That's the last thing Kenya did there, but finally getting a bit of wind back in the sails, and then another unforced error on the IM replay there.
So just a little fumble. It's not a the Kenyan boys tend to try and debate it with the referee, and many players have tried in the history of the game, and as yet there's been no recorded instance of the referee ever changing his mind.
No doubt they'll keep trying though, eh?
They've got to, hey, first you don't succeed, try again, as the heat is met with heat up front, and Soto makes the call and they drive it forward. Chile to release Perotta. He takes it onto the line. Pick and go. Soto there again. Lobs it back in, and now the Chileans driving over the top of it. They clear out. Perotta, far side. They want to keep running. Kenyan defence though. It's okay. Pack of hungry wolves on the far side. Anything that goes wide, Kenyans have got the ability to shut down. Look at them flood through that short side defence, but they've managed to create a breach though. Nice bit of play by Chile as they keep sniping away at the Simba line, and they come down towards the 22. Inside 2 minutes left in this game one of the Regal Hotels Cup of Nations for 2017. Perotta, the ball back on the inside. It was the right idea. It's been picked up, and now Kenya. What can they generate from absolutely nothing in broken play? Siligua belts it off down range. Oh, that was within a fingertip of being intercepted. Looks like a version of Keystone Cops down the far side. Eventually, though, it's Kenia with the ball. No, it continues. Well, less than 60 seconds remain in game one.
Last play, boys, last one.
Referee Boulay
11 blue.
is consulting his assistant referees.
11.
As it looks like a blood bin change is bringing number 12
Okay.
for Chile,
Let's go, boys.
De La Fuente, back into the field of play.
Heavy bands and a good bit of swelling there, and De La Fuente definitely took a big hit, so he'll be straight on the ice pack after they give him that. But Chile here, I think they'll have one last crack at this and try and get another try.
Well, they almost deserve to put themselves in again, Chile. You've seen them start pretty robustly.
Time on.
Fought through a period where they literally couldn't carry the ball forward. And then they came out of the half, they had settled down a little bit more, they started generating some continuity.
Let's go.
You've seen a team sort of band together and fight their way out of a little bit of form slump, and they've actually generated a bit of momentum for themselves.
Okay, crouch.
Yeah, no, definitely right, Jed. I think it was a case of the first 40 minutes getting a journey out of their legs and adjusting to play in Hong Kong, and they've done that well and adapted well, and a much better performance in the second half.
So Soto, he's been a dominant figure off the back for Chile. He lobs it into touch. Referee below calls time on the opening test match of the 2017 Regal Hotel Cup of Nations. And it's a strong first up performance from the man from Chile, as Chile take it out. There's the final score, 23 points to 3. A dominant display in the end by Chile. Kenya still has some work to do as they make ready for their second game of the tournament. As number 7, Petrovic, he's been outstanding. The fullback as well scored most of the points tonight, and they've been really a team that's fought their way into the action. As we get ready to pick up our highlights package, and the IM highlights, there's the try from Videla. There's just a little nudge, and it sits up beautifully for the Chilean fullback, and that's the opening try of the tournament. And what you look at the sheer faces of joy there. They've strung it together. Now here's Perotta. This was big, heavy defence in the corner by Kenya. They were never going to go quietly. They may have only scored 3 points, but put the shots in a right. And finally, final try to this man, Benjamin Soto, who's just been an absolute tower of strength for the Chilean side this evening. Right from the first minute to the last minute, he's been a feature of play. As we look now, and he was just shows some of the danger on this Kenyan side when they get the ball, the ability to run, but not releasing. And that was the final scoring play for Chile. Ian Zawiski stood up and took the final 3 out of that. And that's the IM replay highlight package as we cross now to Daniel Musa, who is with the victorious coach of Chile.
So joined here by Raul Martin, the Chilean coach. Raul, first game of the tournament, and you got to win. You must be a happy man with that. You must be happy with the efforts of your players.
Sí, la verdad es un viaje largo, partir el torneo ganando siempre es positivo, así que los jugadores desarrollaron nuestro juego y gracias a ellos también nos llevamos el partido.
It's been a long trip, but we are very happy. This was the first match of the tournament. We are very happy to win. The players play what we want, so it was perfect for us.
And Raul, it seemed to be a game of two halves. In the first half, a lot of handling areas from your own team, maybe trying to get the journey out your legs. But in the second half, a much better performance, a lot tighter. What was your message to your players at halftime?
Tuvimos muchos errores de manejo. Debido
We have many handling errors in the first time.
pudo haber afectado un poco también el viaje y la ansiedad.
Maybe it was the trip and the excitement of the game.
No sé si la pelota está un poco mojada.
Maybe the ball would be a little slippery of the humidity.
Pero son cosas que tenemos que mejorar y adaptarnos a eso si queremos seguir avanzando.
So there are some things that we have to improve if we want to keep going and growing.
Perfect. And what's your plan for the next couple of days in terms of recovery? Are you straight back into training? How do you prepare now for the next game going forward?
Vamos a preparar para los siguientes partidos y lo que se viene.
Bueno, primero objetivo era Kenia. Tenemos que ver cómo están nuestros jugadores, tener una buena recuperación el día de mañana y ya empezar a pensar en el próximo partido.
First of all, we want to see this match against Kenya, and we want to get a good recuperation from tomorrow, and then start thinking in the next game.
Perfect. Coach, congratulations on the first win and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Result for Chile as they take the opening game of the Regal Hotels Cup of Nations. Game 1, Chile 23 is the final score as they defeat Zimbabwe 23-3. There it is, the final score from Kings Park in Kowloon. We sign off. Join us again shortly for our second game as Hong Kong take on Russia. Jed Thon on behalf of Daniel Musa, thank you for watching. We'll see you again on the 14th.